Why Indonesian Muslims lead the world in devotion to Hajj. Mallam JIJI here, from Wisdom from the Minbar. Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. Welcome to a journey that will take you across thousands of islands, mountains, and oceans to uncover the heart of Indonesia, the nation whose Muslims lead the world in devotion to Hajj. Imagine a place where faith is woven into daily life. In the morning prayers of fishermen at the pier, in mothers saving coins for decades in their Hajj fund boxes, and in the whispers of children learning the sacred rituals before they even leave their village. Here, devotion is not measured by wealth or fame, but by patience, sacrifice, and love for Allah. Each year, millions answer the call of Hajj, not because it is easy, but because it is sacred. Think about this. Some Indonesians wait 20, 30 years just to see the Kaaba with their own eyes. Entire villages and families come together to prepare, teaching, praying, saving, and guiding the next generation. This is a devotion that transcends generations, a legacy that continues to inspire the global Muslim Ummah. As we walk with them on this journey, you will see the human side of Hajj, the tears, the laughter, the prayers, the fear, and the overwhelming joy of standing before the house of Allah. We will explore stories of ordinary men and women whose faith moved mountains, of communities whose unity strengthens their journey, and of how Allah blesses those who sincerely answer His call. Before we move forward, pause for a moment. Like this video, subscribe to our channel at Wisdom_Minbar, and share it so that the beauty and lessons of faith reach hearts around the world. From remote islands to the bustling cities, from the farms to the mosques, this is more than a documentary. It is a lesson in devotion, patience, and the power of faith. So sit back, open your heart, and join me, Mallam JIJI, as we uncover why Indonesian Muslims lead the world in devotion to Hajj, and how their faith illuminates the path for all of us. The islands that answer the call. Indonesia is not just one land. It is a collection of over 17,000 islands, scattered like pearls across the oceans. Within this vast archipelago lives the largest Muslim population in the world, over 230 million souls whose hearts beat in rhythm with Islam. From the mountains of Sumatra to the beaches of Java, and the forests of Borneo to the quiet villages of Sulawesi, you will find faith deeply woven into daily life. The call of Hajj reaches every corner, echoing through mosques, schools, and family homes. For many, this is not just a religious duty. It is a lifelong dream, nurtured over decades. The historical journey of Indonesian pilgrims. Long before airplanes connected continents, Indonesians embarked on months-long journeys to Mecca. Traders, scholars, and ordinary believers would travel by sea, often facing storms, pirates, and illness, yet their faith remained unshaken. Imagine a small wooden ship leaving Java or Sumatra, carrying dozens of pilgrims, their eyes fixed on the horizon, hearts yearning for the sacred Kaaba. Those journeys were acts of patience, trust, and devotion, a testament to the Indonesian spirit that still inspires the world today. Faith woven into daily life. In every village, you'll find small boxes marked Tabungan Haji, Hajj savings, where families contribute coins and notes month after month. Farmers set aside part of their harvest. Fishermen save from their catch. Mothers contribute from their household earnings, all with the same prayer. O Allah, accept this for your house, and grant us the opportunity to stand in your presence. Children learn the rituals early, reciting dua and understanding the meaning of Ihram, Tawaf, and Sa'i, preparing their hearts long before their first physical step toward Mecca. Communities united in devotion. In Indonesia, Hajj is a communal journey even before the traveler departs. Villages hold preparation classes, prayer gatherings, and study sessions where elders teach the young about the sacred rites. Neighbors support each other financially and spiritually, sharing stories of previous pilgrims, sacrifices made, and blessings received. This collective devotion strengthens both individual faith and national identity, showing that Islam in Indonesia is not merely a personal belief, is a shared heritage. The spiritual preparation. Preparation for Hajj is not only financial, but spiritual and emotional. Pilgrims spend months reflecting on their intentions, performing extra prayers, and seeking forgiveness from family and friends. Every act of patience and charity becomes part of their Hajj journey, preparing them to stand before the Kaaba with sincerity and humility. Allah reminds us in the Quran, "And those who strive for us, we will surely guide them to our paths." Surah Al-Ankabut 29:69. Lessons for the world. The story of Indonesia's devotion is a lesson for the entire Ummah. Faith is built over time, not bought with wealth alone. Preparation is as important as the pilgrimage itself. Communities that support each other spiritually and financially create blessings for generations. The Indonesian example shows that true devotion to Allah's call transcends distance, hardship, and generations. Reflection and transition. As the sun rises over the islands of Indonesia, we see a nation whose heart beats for the Kaaba, whose hands are lifted in dua, and whose spirit teaches the world the meaning of patience, sacrifice, and sincere devotion. In our next chapter, we will witness the faithful pilgrims of Nigeria, journeying from the heart of Africa to Mecca, showing us how devotion knows no borders and how Allah blesses those who answer His call with patience and love. Narrated by Mallam JIJI, Wisdom from the Minbar. The journey to Mecca begins long before the first step. It begins in the heart, in patience, and an unwavering faith. Faith born of patience. The essence of patience in Hajj. One of the most remarkable traits of Indonesian Muslims is patience. The journey to Hajj is not a mere weekend trip. For many, it is a dream that takes decades to realize. Families save for years, sometimes a lifetime, to fulfill this sacred obligation. Farmers set aside a portion of their harvest. Fishermen dedicate part of their cash. Even schoolchildren learn to contribute small savings to the family Hajj fund. This patience is more than financial. It is spiritual training, teaching resilience, discipline, and unwavering faith. Stories of sacrifice. Let's imagine a family in Java. A father works tirelessly in the fields, a mother carefully manages the household, and their children save every small allowance they can. All this effort, every small sacrifice, is made for a single day in the sacred lands of Mecca. They may face delays, years of waiting, or unforeseen difficulties, yet their devotion never wavers. Their patience is a testament to their love for Allah and the sanctity of Hajj. Communities strengthening faith. Patience in Indonesia is shared collectively, not born alone. Villages often organize communal savings programs and educational sessions about Hajj. Elders guide the youth, teaching the significance of tawaf, sa'i, and standing at Arafah. These preparations instill not only knowledge, but unity and mutual support, creating blessings for the entire community even before the pilgrimage begins. Spiritual discipline and reflection. During the waiting years, pilgrims engage in acts of worship, charity, and self-purification. They perform extra prayers, read the Quran, seek forgiveness, and assist those in need, training themselves to embody the sincerity required for Hajj. This preparation strengthens their hearts, readying them for the moment they stand before the Kaaba, where patience and devotion meet divine mercy. Patience rewarded by Allah. Allah reminds us in the Quran, "Indeed, Allah is with those who patiently persevere." Surah Al-Anfal 8:46. Indonesian pilgrims live this verse daily. Their patience is rewarded not only in reaching Mecca, but also in the blessings they bring back home. Spiritual growth, renewed faith, humility, and closeness to Allah. Social harmony, families and communities strengthened by shared devotion. Inspiration for the next generation. Children learn the value of sacrifice and perseverance. Patience as a national characteristic. This collective patience defines Indonesia as a nation of faithful pilgrims. From remote islands to major cities, the willingness to wait, sacrifice, and prepare reflects a nation whose hearts are aligned with Allah's call. Their patience becomes a model for Muslims worldwide, showing that devotion to Hajj is measured not by speed or ease, but by steadfastness and sincerity. Reflection and transition. As the sun rises over the villages and cities of Indonesia, we see a faith nurtured by patience, a devotion that grows stronger with every passing year. In our next chapter, we will explore community and tradition, how families and villages guide generations in the sacred journey of Hajj, ensuring that faith is preserved and passed on. Narrated by Mallam JIJI, Wisdom from the Minbar. True devotion to Allah is forged in patience, nurtured in sacrifice, and illuminated through sincere worship. Community and tradition. Faith passed through generations. In Indonesia, Hajj is not only an individual journey. It is a communal experience, a family legacy, and a societal tradition. Parents teach their children from a young age about the sacred rites of Hajj, the Ihram, the Tawaf, the Sa'i, and the stoning of Jamarat. Stories of ancestors who braved long journeys to Mecca are shared around dinner tables and mosque gatherings, instilling reverence, knowledge, and inspiration in the young. Village life and Hajj preparation. Villages across Indonesia organize communal programs for Hajj preparation. Elders lead study circles, teach the Quran, and guide families on the spiritual significance of each ritual. Young adults are taught not only how to perform Hajj, but also why it matters, connecting physical actions to deeper spiritual meaning. Communities contribute financially to help those in need, ensuring that even the less fortunate can answer Allah's call. Rituals beyond the pilgrimage. Preparation is not only financial or educational. It is a spiritual journey long before departure. Families perform dua together, recite Quran, and engage in acts of charity, reinforcing the values that Hajj embodies: humility, patience, and unity. The community's involvement transforms individual devotion into collective blessings, making the pilgrimage a shared triumph for everyone. The role of religious schools, pesantren. In many Indonesian regions, pesantrens, Islamic boarding schools, play a crucial role in nurturing faith and guiding future pilgrims. Students study the rituals of Hajj, memorize prayers, and reflect on the lives of the Prophet and his companions. By integrating lessons of patience, sacrifice, and spirituality, these schools ensure that each pilgrim's journey is prepared both physically and spiritually. Cultural festivals and communal support. Beyond formal education, cultural practices reinforce devotion. Villages hold prayer nights, savings drives, and Hajj storytelling sessions, where pilgrims share their experiences. Communities celebrate each family that achieves the dream of Hajj, creating an atmosphere of inspiration and motivation. Spiritual and social impact. This strong community involvement ensures that Hajj is more than a personal ritual. Spiritually, pilgrims leave their homes purified, ready to stand before Allah. Socially, families and villages grow closer through shared preparation. Educationally, knowledge and devotion are passed to the next generation. The blessings of one individual's journey ripple through entire communities, demonstrating how faith is multiplied when nurtured collectively. Reflection and transition. Indonesian communities show us that devotion to Hajj is not just a personal act, but a shared heritage. Their unity, tradition, and commitment to teaching younger generations preserve faith across centuries. The journey of a lifetime. The pilgrimage begins. After years, sometimes decades of preparation, the moment finally arrives. Indonesian pilgrims set foot on planes, ships, or buses, leaving their villages and cities with hearts full of anticipation and prayer. Families, neighbors, and communities gather to pray for their safe journey, offering blessings and guidance. This is more than travel. It is the culmination of patience, faith, and lifelong devotion. First steps in the sacred land. Upon arriving in Mecca, pilgrims are immediately enveloped in the spiritual atmosphere of the holy city. The Kaaba shines in the sunlight. The hum of thousands of voices reciting prayers fills the air, and hearts beat in unison, united by devotion and submission to Allah. For many, tears flow freely, not from exhaustion, but from the overwhelming sense of finally standing where centuries of prophets and companions once walked. Rituals that transform. The pilgrimage is a series of rituals designed to purify the soul. Ihram, entering a state of spiritual purity, wearing simple garments, and leaving behind worldly distractions. Tawaf, circling the Kaaba 7 times, a symbol of unity, devotion, and focus on Allah. Sa'i, walking between Safa and Marwa, reflecting on the faith and perseverance of Hajj. R.A. Standing at Arafah, a moment of reflection, supplication, and total surrender, where every heart is equal before Allah. Stoning the Jamarat, a symbolic act of rejecting evil and reaffirming commitment to righteousness. Each step is meticulously performed, with deep reverence and awareness. Indonesian pilgrims are known for their discipline, patience, and sincerity, embodying the devotion cultivated over years of preparation. Challenges along the way. The journey is not without its difficulties. Long flights or sea voyages, crowded camps, scorching heat, and fatigue challenge pilgrims physically. Emotional moments, homesickness, or fear of the unknown test their hearts. Yet, Indonesian pilgrims face these obstacles with steadfast faith and unity, reminding us that Hajj is a test of both body and soul. Moments of divine connection. At every ritual, at every prayer, the pilgrims experience moments of intimate connection with Allah. Tears, whispered dua, and silent reflection reveal the depth of their devotion. As Allah says in the Quran, "And when my servants ask you concerning me, indeed I am near. I respond to the invocation of the supplicant when he calls upon me." Surah Al-Baqarah 2:186. Each Indonesian pilgrim feels this nearness, a spiritual reward earned through decades of patience, preparation, and unwavering faith. Returning home transformed. When the journey ends, the pilgrims return home forever changed. Their hearts are humbled, their faith deepened, and their gratitude amplified. Families and communities welcome them with joy, ready to share the lessons learned and blessings received. Stories of sacrifice, devotion, and transformation inspire others to embark on their own spiritual journeys. Reflection and transition. The journey of Hajj is both personal and communal. Indonesian Muslims show the world that true devotion is not measured by ease or speed, but by sincerity, discipline, and perseverance. In our next chapter, we will explore the blessings that follow home, how the experiences of Indonesian pilgrims ripple through their communities and inspire generations, demonstrating blessings that follow home. The return of the pilgrims. After the sacred rituals of Hajj, Indonesian pilgrims return to their villages, towns, and cities transformed. Their hearts are humbled, their faith deepened, and their spirits illuminated with the light of Allah's blessings. Families and communities eagerly welcome them, eager to hear the stories of patience, devotion, and divine mercy experienced in the holy lands of Mecca and Mina. Spiritual growth and personal transformation. Hajj is not merely a physical journey. It is a spiritual rebirth. Pilgrims return with a renewed connection to Allah, strengthened by years of preparation and the sacred rituals performed. A deeper sense of humility, recognizing the equality of all souls before Allah. Renewed intentions for righteousness, charity, and service to others. Their transformation becomes a living example for families, neighbors, and communities. Community and social impact. The blessings of Hajj ripple beyond the individual. Pilgrims share knowledge of rituals, dua, and Islamic teachings with their communities. Some contribute to building mosques, Islamic schools, or charitable initiatives, spreading the spiritual benefits to many. Younger generations witness these acts and inherit a culture of devotion and service, ensuring that the legacy of faith continues. Inspiring others to answer the call. Stories of returning pilgrims inspire countless others to prepare for Hajj. Villages celebrate every family who achieves the journey, holding gatherings where pilgrims narrate their experiences, struggles, and divine blessings. These tales of patience, unity, and perseverance encourage others to strengthen their own faith and answer Allah's call. Divine rewards across generations. The Quran reminds us, whoever does righteous deeds, whether male or female, while being a believer, we will surely cause them to live a good life, and we will surely give them their reward in the hereafter. Surah An-Nahl, 16 hours 97 minutes. The blessings of Hajj in Indonesia are not just temporal. They create a chain of faith. Parents returning from Hajj educate children, who grow up inspired to pursue the same journey. Communities strengthened spiritually, morally, and socially reflect the multiplied rewards of sincere devotion. Blessings beyond material measures, beyond knowledge and spiritual growth, the Hajj experience instills patience in daily life, humility in wealth and status, unity across families and communities, a renewed sense of purpose and gratitude. These blessings are immeasurable, yet they shape nations over generations. Reflection and transition. The return from Hajj is not an end. It is a continuation of faith in action. Indonesian Muslims show us that devotion is not only about standing at Arafah or circling the Kaaba. It is about living the lessons learned, spreading goodness, and inspiring others. In our final chapter, we will reflect on lessons for the global Ummah, showing why the Indonesian model of patience, community, and devotion is a beacon for Muslims worldwide. Narrated by Mallam JIJI, Wisdom from the Minbar. Hajj is not only a journey to Mecca. It is a journey of the heart, whose blessings multiply far beyond the traveler's return. Lessons for the global Ummah. A beacon of devotion. Indonesian Muslims have shown the world what true devotion to Hajj looks like: patience, sacrifice, unity, and sincerity. Their example is a lesson for the entire Ummah, proving that faith is measured not by ease or speed, but by steadfastness and love for Allah. Patience and perseverance. From remote islands to bustling cities, Indonesians demonstrate that faith requires patience, saving for decades, preparing spiritually and financially, waiting through challenges and delays. These acts of perseverance are an inspiration for Muslims worldwide, reminding us that the journey to Allah is not always easy, but it is always rewarding. Community and generational faith. Hajj is not only an individual act, it is a shared, communal experience. Families, villages, and communities support pilgrims, pass down knowledge, and celebrate their achievements. This unity strengthens faith across generations, showing the world that devotion multiplies when shared. Spiritual transformation. The journey of Hajj transforms hearts. Pilgrims return humbled and spiritually renewed. Communities are inspired and uplifted. Younger generations learn the values of patience, humility, and devotion. These transformations are universal lessons relevant to Muslims in Africa, the Middle East, America, and beyond. Global inspiration. By studying Indonesia's model, the global Ummah can learn. 1. Faith requires preparation and patience. Devotion is built over time. 2. Communities empower individuals. Support and guidance create blessings that last generations. 3. Spiritual journeys ripple beyond the individual. Returning pilgrims bring wisdom, charity, and inspiration to their communities. 4. Unity in diversity. Indonesians show that millions can share one sacred journey while honoring differences. A call to reflection. Every Muslim, regardless of nationality, wealth, or social standing, can draw lessons from Indonesia's devotion. How do we prepare our hearts for Allah's call? How do we support each other in faith? Are we nurturing the next generation to value patience, unity, and devotion? These are questions for the entire Ummah. Indonesia simply provides a living example of how faith can thrive. As the sun rises over Mecca and pilgrims from every corner of the globe stand united, we see the universality of devotion and the blessings of Allah. Indonesia reminds us that faith is not just a journey to a sacred land, but a journey of the heart, family, community, and nation. Let the devotion of Indonesia's pilgrims inspire every Muslim to answer Allah's call with patience, sincerity, and love. True faith is a journey that transforms hearts and communities alike. And now, dear viewers, we have reached the close of our journey across the islands and hearts of Indonesia, a nation whose Muslims have shown the world what true devotion to Hajj looks like. We have witnessed families saving for decades, communities teaching one another, and pilgrims stepping onto the sacred lands of Mecca with hearts overflowing in love, humility, and reverence for Allah. Their example reminds us that Hajj is more than a physical journey. It is a journey of the soul, where patience, sincerity, and unity are rewarded beyond measure. Let us reflect. How often do we take small steps in our own lives, yet neglect the spiritual journeys that shape our hearts? Indonesia teaches us that faith is not measured by speed, wealth, or ease, but by perseverance and love for Allah. I invite you to take this inspiration into your own life. Share these lessons with your family, your friends, and your community. Let the example of Indonesia remind us that every sincere step toward Allah carries immense blessings. If this journey has touched your heart, like, share, and subscribe at wisdom_Minbar. Help the world see the beauty, patience, and devotion of the faithful Ummah. I am Mallam JIJI from Wisdom from the Minbar, and I pray that Allah accepts every step we take toward Him, grants us patience, and fills our hearts with devotion. Remember, Hajj is not just a journey to Mecca. It is a journey that transforms the soul, the family, and the nation.